Hello and welcome to In Stitches. Today I'm going to show you a quick start on this Brother NQ3700D embroidery / sewing machine. So I'm not going to go through too much detail. I'll get straight into the quick start here. I've unpacked the machine. When you first get these machines, you'll see a little bit of blue tape around them. You need to remove the blue tape. There'll be a little spacer under the foot, it needs to be removed as well, the press foot there. So a very good combination machine for embroidery and sewing. Now you remove the accessory tray here. That's the first thing we do. And then we need to attach the embroidery unit, and you'll notice there's a little slider on the front here. You need to open this slider here, this little door, to expose the connector for the embroidery attachment. Just unpack the embroidery unit, just slide that on there, push it so that it goes completely in there. That's it, so this should sit flush here, and there we go. We've just extended the machine from a standard sewing machine to an embroidery machine. So a little screwdriver comes in the package there, and so we'll just remove this standard sewing foot here, just loosen the screw there. You've got your standard foot there. And today I'm going to be using the included embroidery foot there. It's got a little LED pointer which I won't set up during the quick start. We'll do that later on. Because you don't really need it to start with, just to get going. So the screw here needs removing, and then attach the foot here, screw the foot on there, tighten that there, and then the little plug, the looks like a 2.5mm plug, just plugs into a jack on the back of the machine. Is just a little jack, and behind there just remove the bobbin. It's a drop-in style bobbin, fairly standard. Okay, I've just plugged the machine in there, power socket on the right hand side, just turned it on. When you first unpack the machine, you'll get a language selection first of all here. Okay, so it's basically just in a screensaver mode there. You touch the screen there, and it's warning you that the embroidery unit will position itself here. Keep it clear at the back here and around this area. Keep your hands away. Hit OK. Okay, that's that done. And then let's wind a bobbin. Fairly standard bobbin winding setup. It comes with a bobbin fill supplied here. That's a 60 weight bobbin fill. I'm not going to use that. You would put that on the holder here and thread the machine to wind the bobbin. I'm not going to use this because this machine's actually on loan. I have no reason to use this here. I've got this 20,000 metre bobbin fill here. Obviously it won't fit there, so I'm going to use a thread stand. I've got this thread stand here which I will just thread up and place in behind the machine there. We can use that, and I'll just be coming through under the lid here to thread the bobbin winder. I'll get you in for a close look at the bobbin winder threading. Yep. Just bear in mind that although I'm showing you this here, I will be using the larger spool on the thread stand at the back. But just to demonstrate this, we just follow the numbers here. So the dotted line for the bobbin winding, number 1, and then around the bottom here you can see the dotted line at the bottom there, up to 2 and across to 3 there under that little guide there, through under the tensioner, and then we wind around the bobbin, clockwise, so just put a few turns on that. You can hook the thread underneath there's a little cutter here, just like that, and then push the bobbin across to engage it. Down here where the stop button is here, you'll see it's turned amber. If you noticed before, it was probably red, which meant the machine would not sew as such, because there's no pattern selected or anything like that, and there's no hoop loaded. So that's amber, indicating that it's all good for bobbin winding. And when that's full, it'll automatically stop the little on the stopper here. You can adjust the speed of the bobbin winding just with the speed slider here if you're wanting to wind the bobbin a little bit slower. It seems to be okay at full speed, no problem there. Okay, a little jump cut there just to show you, so you don't have to sit through the whole bobbin winding process. And then we just hit the button again to turn the bobbin winder off and put it back into sewing mode, out of the bobbin winding mode. And there we have bobbin wound. Now I'll go ahead and wind a bobbin with bobbin fill. So when I do that, I bring the thread from the thread stand at the back here. I've found it works really well just coming underneath the door here and then just straight onto this guide like that there, and then across to the bobbin winder. That works perfectly well. You can see there it's pulling through nicely there. Right, and to install the bobbin, there's actually a little diagram just here indicating that the thread comes off the top and to the left. So it'll come off like that there. So when you pull the thread, it turns anti-clockwise, and you literally just drop the bobbin in like that. Come around this little hook here, there's an arrow showing the direction of the thread there. Just pull the thread around, and there's another arrow that hooks around here and comes down and across. Fairly standard sort of bobbin threading mechanism, and just it trims off there. And we'll place the bobbin cover back on there. There's two sizes of hoop here. We've got the smaller one that comes with the machine, and there's the larger one here. I've just very roughly cut some calico here and a tearaway stabilizer. So we'll just lay those on top of each other. Just like that, very roughly cut, as you can see. Loosen the clamp here, take away the inner hoop there, place your material on the outer there, and then just bring the inner on top and press it down into the outer hoop there. Is that right? Might just need to loosen this clamp slightly. Yep, that's better. Just bring them so that they're both flush there. And before tightening the clamp, it's quite a good idea just to take a little bit of this slack out of the material here. Just like that there, just to get a little bit of tension on that. Not too much, it just really needs to be so that it's not floating around a lot. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. And then just tighten the clamp again there, like that. Make sure the lever here is in the up position here for the loading the hoop. So we just position the hoop under the foot here, and then just line up the hoop like so, just here, so that this long bar here is just to the left of this piece here. It's a little channel that runs through. It should slide in easily, just nice and easily like that, and then clamp down the little lever there, and so that hoop is positioned and ready to go there. I decided to hoop up a small hoop there just for this demonstration. That, okay, Next thing we'll do is choose a design here. Now this machine being an NQ3700D, the D stands for Disney. So it's got built-in Disney characters as well as other designs, a lot of other designs, including text and whatnot. But let's just choose a Disney character here. We can go, so you got Mickey and Minnie, Winnie the Pooh, Frozen, Disney Pixar, and what's that? Ariel, is it? The Little Mermaid? Yeah, so are these old school characters? Snow White, is it? Here's the Disney designs that are built in. You can pause if you want to have a close look at those. There. So Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, etc. No Goofy. Winnie the Pooh. There we have Ariel, Snow White, some other princess type ones. There we go. And then we've got Frozen. Some Frozen characters there. Lion King, is it? Cars and Disney Pixar. We've got Toy Story characters and what's he out of? Monsters Inc. Yeah, Monsters Inc. So quite a few Disney characters there. Alice in Wonderland. Bambi. Yep, all sorts in there. And we have the standard embroidery design guide here. We'll just have a quick flick through here. You can see that, you know, there are heaps and heaps. So we've got fancy lettering there. We've got standard text with the different fonts available. Different character sets. Different font styles. 3 different font sizes. We've got a Japanese character set here. Okay, and then you've got border designs, frame patterns. Oops. And then your, you know, all sorts of different designs. These are all built in. You can bring designs in as well. It's got a Wi-Fi capability, this machine, and a USB port on the side as well. So you can use USB sticks to transfer designs from a computer or through the wireless network. There's buttonholes. More designs there. So it's very extensive library built in. And then we've got the colour thread conversion chart in the back there. Choose this one here. You can see there that it's chosen the orientation of the embroidery there, hoping it will fit on the small hoop here. Let's see. Now we hit set when we're ready, and you can do things like move and rotate, but we'll just stick with the standard there. And so when you're finished editing, you hit end edit, and then you hit embroidery here. You can do more adjustments here. Embroidery, and now we get a list of colors there. Now I've changed this. The default listing here is, I think they're the Brother embroidery thread colors, but I've changed it to just list, you know, the color names here. So that's not the full list, at least I don't think so. You can see here it's 39 minutes to complete. It's 22,244 stitches. We'll start with white here. I'll show you how to thread the machine. We've done the bobbin already, so just the top thread here. So just lift the cover there, place the spool, hopefully that's spool's going to be long enough, just long enough here for these spools. These are Madeira embroidery viscose. We'll put the spool cap on. I think that should be okay. Hopefully it doesn't fall off here and trap. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, we'll start with white here. So follow the numbers again. 1 here, hook it under there, follow the arrows. 2, follow the solid arrow this time. There, and down through the slot here, down to 3 here. Just come up here around the take up lever, number 4 there, down to 5 and 6 here. That's the guide just above the needle there, number 6. That, and then across through 7. And around the side here we've got number 8, which is just a trimmer here to trim the thread to the right length there. And then number 9 for the needle threader, automatic needle threader. I'll get you a close look at that. So I'll be pushing this down and just letting it go. Just like so. And we're ready to go there. And it's literally just a matter of hitting start here. It starts off reasonably slowly. I'll get you in for a close look at this in a second. I was quite impressed with how quiet this machine is actually. Some of the embroidery machines can be quite noisy, but the brothers seem to be fairly quiet. Okay, that little beep there, and it automatically stopped and repositioned for the next colour. So the little beep is indicating that we need to change colour there. So I don't have linen coloured sewing thread, embroidery thread, sorry, so I'm just using the standard sewing thread. It's polyester standard sewing thread. So just quickly thread that up. It's pretty easy to thread. Quite impressed with the speed of threading. And away we go. Just doing her arms here. Is it Ariel, I think, this character? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could look it up, I suppose. I won't make you sit through the whole lot. I'll do some jump cuts here. I'll get you in for a close look when we're doing a different colour here. If you want to see embroidering, you know, full embroideries, there's plenty of videos on YouTube, I'm sure. I've done one before, I think, on a Singer embroidery machine. So that's it, pretty much. You know, as far as quick start goes, that's it. You're up and running. I mean, it's that easy. A lot of people think that these are difficult, complicated machines. There's a lot to this machine. I'm not saying it's simple, but I think people think that it's difficult to get up and running. It's not really when you see that. But yeah, there's quite a lot of features in this machine which I'll go through in more detail, maybe in another video or maybe at the end of this one. I'm not too sure at this stage, but we'll see how the length of this video goes. Okay, asking for salmon pink. About the closest I can find is this one. Again, it's not embroidery thread, but that's okay. The spool cap's probably too big. It's probably going to be okay. I guess it's skin colour, is it? Be close enough. And it is Ariel. I looked it up online. Little Mermaid. I wasn't really into it. I didn't have sisters. Just trying to remember what we were into. We liked Donald Duck and, you know, Uncle Scrooge and all that sort of thing. Not Ariel, But anyway, the little girls love it. I was stitching some patterns out at the Waimea area quilt show, actually, that I just attended last weekend. It was a quilt exhibition, and I had a stand there. I've done a short video on that. You can take a quick look at that if you want to see the stand. And I had this machine set up there, just basically running the whole time, embroidering designs. And yep, some of the little girls were just completely amazed, completely blown away. One of the little girls just about had to be dragged out. Here's a spoiler alert, here's a fully stitched out design here. Mufasa, is it? Is it the grandfather, or I don't know, I've seen it once. Not Toy Story, Lion King. And anyway, it was about 3/4 of the way done. She stood there for just about the whole thing. Her mum was getting impatient. She watched this for, I reckon, over half an hour, just absolutely mesmerised about this whole idea here. And I think she wanted to wait until it had finished, and I don't blame her really, but yeah, she got dragged out, kicking and screaming just about, not quite, but yeah, she was not happy about leaving. And another little girl that I saw there, when she saw this in action, her jaw literally just fell open. She was just blown away. And funny thing is, other kids walk in and they just take one glimpse at it and then just turn away and walk away. It's funny how people are so different. But anyway, let's carry on here. Let's get going with the salmon pink, or close enough to it. Oh, that was quick. Yeah, some of these are really quick. See, teal green is 1 minute, shows you here, 1 minute to stitch out the teal green. Now, some of these colours I don't have, you know, so I'm just going to get as close as possible. Okay, teal green, close enough to it. Jade, I think it officially is there. And I don't know, what are your thoughts? Maybe if you could leave comments down below whether you want to see a full stitch out of a design, you know, which literally this one here, I think, with no colour changes obviously, took an hour. So I mean, if you're keen to be mesmerised and just sit and watch an embroidery machine, let me know, I'll film it. Now this is a 2-minute stitch out. It's the fish's fins. I thought this one might be a little bit more interesting than just the back and forward that's been going on Ariel's here and the fish here. You can skip forward if you want to. This is only a 2-minute stitch out, but I've put chapters in down below if you want to skip past here. Sky blue again. Not sure why it stopped there. It's both sky blue. It didn't change, but for some reason it prompted me to stick with sky blue. next colour it's asking for is electric blue. I'm not sure if I've got electric blue, but I'll find something close. Now, I've just got partway through doing Ariel's tail here, and we've got a message on the screen there. Let's see if we can read that there. Bobbin thread is almost empty. Use the move frame key to move the embroidery carriage so the embroidery frame can be removed or installed. Now, I've found that that's not really all that necessary. I've managed to get away with just removing the embroidery frame as it is here. So I just lift the foot here, lift the foot, and just remove the frame. Oh, actually, before I do that, you can trim the thread like that, and then just remove the frame. And you'll see here that the bobbin thread is almost empty. Just a few turns left on it. So I'll go ahead and wind another bobbin and carry on from there. Okay, there's the new bobbin put in there, and then you can just pick up from where you left off. Just install the hoop there, and then over here we can see, I'll just hit OK, and then if we hit this plus minus button here, we can actually reverse up the stitching there. I'll go back 10 stitches, that's this one, minus 10 stitches there, so that we just go back and come over what we've already done slightly by a few stitches, and we're ready to go again. And just hit the go button and off we go from where we left off there. Okay, it's prompting for the last colour here, reddish brown. I've got something reasonably close there. We've done 22,173 stitches out of 22,244, and there's this little button here which I was going to show you. That's the little LED pointer. So if I hit that, it turns on the little pointer here. You should be able to see the little LED pointer. That is showing the needle drop position. It just turned off there. Okay, so you can see right on that point there on Ariel's eye there is the needle drop point. So that's quite handy for, you know, lining up designs and things like that. Okay, let's stitch out the remaining parts there. It's not long to go, it's less than a minute. So this machine it's deep. You know, there's a lot of functions with this machine that I think I mentioned I won't go through today. Embroidery finished. Hit OK, and then you can, you know, choose another design if you want to. I just sorry, you might not have seen that there. I just hit this here. That's for another embroidery design. You can go into sewing mode, and so it's asking to, if you want to cancel, and yes I do, I want to cancel, and then you can go back and, you know, choose another design if you want to. Easy as that. Okay, so then it's just a matter of removing the hoop here. And there we have Ariel all stitched out, the Little Mermaid. Now, just a couple of things I've noticed. If you have a close look here, you can see the bobbin thread coming through on the black stitching there. That's a tension adjustment. So I think probably what I would do in that case is I'd manually reduce the top tension. That's probably just because of the particular thread that I'm using. So yeah, that's easy enough to do, manually change the tension there. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this machine actually. You can see that it looks like it's gone outside the lines here, but it hasn't really. That's actually part of the design itself. It's to give it a certain effect, I guess. Yeah, there's a couple of wee threads to trim up there, nothing too major. And then, you know, it's just a matter of removing the work from the hoop. Just loosen the clamp here. That. There we have it, and then you can go ahead and tear off the tearaway stabilizer there. There we go. So that's about it for this one. Just a quick start guide. It wasn't overly quick, really, is it? But you know, that's how you can get up and running reasonably quickly with one of these machines, the NQ3700D, D for Disney. I'll do just a fairly brief video just going through the sewing machine functions here, because you know, it makes a very good sewing machine as well. You know, you've got a whole heap of pattern stitches here available, buttonholes, all sorts there, and you know, it's a very capable machine. But I won't go through that in too much detail. I'll go through the manual and show you some of the attachments and things like that in another video. This machine has to go back to Brother. It's just on loan as a demonstration model from Brother. They kindly lent it to me for the show that I did, the quilt exhibition that I did just recently, and it was a real crowd pleaser at the show. It certainly attracted a lot of attention. As always, thank you very much to my patrons on Patreon. Here's your names being stitched out here on the large hoop, and you might notice a couple of wee tails and whatnot here. I just set it to go and basically walked away. You are supposed to, when each colour or each jump has been completed and it's starting a new jump, starting sewing, you should by right stop the machine after the first few stitches, maybe 6 stitches, and trim the tail, and then carry on again from there. There's the finished product. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, you can see the little tails there that have got caught up in there. I did a bobbin change there, so Angela, we got to about E there and the bobbin ran out, so I had to change the bobbin there just to get those last 2 stitched out, but that's no big deal. It's pretty easy, as you saw, to change out there. And thank you very much for watching.